Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel, My Third Act. My name is Marla, and I've really been thinking a lot today about what I wanted to speak to you about. It's been on my heart, and I just wanted to share it. I'll turn 70 years old this year, and I have really been thinking about what I would do differently if I could do it all over. And I thought about 5 things, and I'll probably think about more, but I wanted to talk to you about these 5 things because if I could give advice to my younger self, this is exactly the information that I would impart. I don't know if my 20-year-old self would listen to it, but I would hope so. So here's what's been on my mind and what I would like to share with you. The first thing is that I would learn to not worry so much, especially over inconsequential things. Maybe I didn't understand exactly what was inconsequential when I was 20 years old, or I bet I did by the time I was 25. But at that age, it seemed like I was just, me and others, we were just so full of ourselves and concerned with ourselves and didn't understand that half of the stuff that we worried about ourselves, about how we looked or how we acted or what someone thought of us, was even important. And yet we made a big deal out of it. And we didn't think that we met those standards that were set so high in our mind. And so because we didn't, we worried. And it was ridiculous because those things don't matter. When you get to be 69, they don't matter. Here is what's the detrimental effect of worrying too much. When you are what my mother calls a worrywart, you give up some of your high energy freedom because you are in just a lower vibe. And when you give up that higher, lighter vibe that doesn't worry about inconsequential things, a wonderful, glorious thing happens, and that is you recognize your blessings. And it's sometimes very difficult to recognize blessings when you're worrying, when you give up worrying over things that are not that important in the big grand scheme of things anyway. It's like you can suddenly recognize and consequentially be grateful for all of the wonderful blessings in your life. You didn't even see them when you were worrying. And then all of a sudden, they're so front and center, and it just makes you even happier. When you are in that feeling, you draw more people to you like that. And with people come opportunities. So I think the first thing I would say was quit worrying about stuff that doesn't make any difference at all, and quit missing those blessings. When you show gratitude for your blessings, man, even more blessings come. So that would be the first thing that I would do. The second thing I'd do differently if I could do it over is I would learn to network earlier. I would learn how to really meet and talk to people that I wanted to be like. And people that I admired, I would search them out, find them, and network with them at a much earlier age. I did have some wonderful adventures when I was in my 20s. But I fell into those adventures. Really, I did. It wasn't because I networked my way into them. And once I did, now that I look back on it, there were so many things that if I had just taken one more little step in talking to someone or getting to know someone or listening to someone, I could have, I had more opportunity and had even more adventures to experience. So networking with the people that you want to be like is really important. And to do that, a lot of times you just have to give up time with the people and things that aren't as important. And also to be a good networker, I think you have to be a really good listener, and you have to listen to people's stories and feel them and understand them. And usually when you do that, people want you to share your stories and where you want to go in life too. So when you learn to network, if I had learned to network better, I think I would have had more mentors in life and possibly would have got where I wanted to be a lot faster. And maybe, along the way had more opportunity. Third thing I'd do if I could do it all over again is I would get better at appreciating what was good in my life. And then I would also get better at getting rid of what wasn't. So that could apply to a lot of different areas, but I'm telling you, there were so many things that were good in my life when I was younger that I didn't appreciate as much as I wish I would have. And if I were giving someone advice who was younger, I would ask them to list the things in their life that they would be appreciative for. And there are a lot of little things that we don't even think about that are really worth appreciating, like, a good night's sleep, good friends, great teachers at school or at university, a family that might be fun to be around or that listens to me or that gives me good guidance. Things that I might have just blown off when I was younger and just not have appreciated. And then I would put up with things that, had drama involved with them and were energy vampires, and that I just needed to get rid of them in my life. But maybe it was that I didn't know how, or maybe I thought, hey, life is just like this. You got to put up with all this stuff that you don't like. Well, guess what? You don't. So I think the third thing is that I would just get better at appreciating what was good in my life and get better at getting rid of what wasn't. The last thing I would do is, I don't know if I'm to 4 or 5. I forgot to write it down on my sheet. I think I would, in order to do that, I think I would need to really learn what a victim mindset is. So if I were ever hanging around it, I could recognize it. It wouldn't be at my house because my mother did not have a victim mindset. When I found people who felt victimized outside of it, I guess I really spent too much time with them, and I need to recognize what that kind of mindset was and that I really didn't have to participate in it. I didn't have to choose that for my life. My mother hadn't. But I think to be able to really appreciate what is good in my life, I would have to learn what kind of mindset I really needed to have. Lastly, I would love to do this differently. I would love to know how money works at an earlier age. Remember those passbook savings accounts we would get? And you could open one for a few dollars, with a few dollars, and the teller at the bank would write in what your deposits were and what your withdrawals were, so you could keep up with how much money you had, and you'd earn a few % interest on it. That is how I always thought a good money manager saved their money. I didn't know how money worked, and I certainly did not know how to invest money wisely. I think when we're younger and we might be living paycheck to paycheck, or we might be a poor college student and we're like, I don't have money to invest in the stock market. Why should I learn about the stock market? Or why should I learn about investing at all? My advice would be that is precisely the best time to learn about the stock market and precisely the best time to learn how to invest, because there'll be a day that you'll be very knowledgeable and you're going to come up with a bonus check or gift money from family for your birthday or for Christmas. And it'll come into your mind, if you're a saver, you'll want to invest it instead of putting it to that low-bearing interest account. Or if you're not a saver at all, you might be excited by knowing what that money could grow into because you've learned what compounding means, what compounding interest is, and how to invest your money. So I think I think I'd be better off financially for sure if I had quit being scared of money and learned how to manage it and invest it at an earlier age. All right, so those are my 5 things that I would do differently if I could do it all over. If I could talk to my younger self and say, hey, listen up. Well, I guess I'd probably say something like, be sure and buy Walmart stock when it comes out. Don't ask me what it is, just buy it. I mean, there's a lot of things like that about investing for sure. Okay, you guys have a wonderful week. I hope these things help you. Please like and subscribe so that, I'm new at this and Facebook will recognize me. And please leave a comment. I hope you guys have a wonderful week and we will see you next week. Make it a winning day. Bye.